Gran Turismo 7 tier list. I know you've been waiting for this. This is going to be the definitive guide to all the Group 3 cars in GT7. I'm a professional Gran Turismo player. Spent a lot of time in the game. A lot of time racing these GT3s at the highest level. We're going to go through. We're going to go S rank, A rank, B rank, C rank, or even D rank for the very worst cars. Let's go through. I've sorted them by mileage driven, so we'll kind of go through the cars that should start off being in the higher tiers, unless I drive them and don't really like them. But let's have a look. We're going to start with the Skyline Super Silhouette. I love this car. Absolutely beastly car down the straight. Dominates at Monza no chicane. The turbo is insane, except you can't see in the rear view. They've got some massive plunger sticking out the back. It makes no sense. I would genuinely put that S tier, because it's also, I think, probably the oldest Group 3 car here. Oh man, actually, I can't put it S tier because of the rear view. So I'm going to put the Skyline Super Silhouette. It's going to go A tier. A tier for the Skyline Super Silhouette. And also because I can't say it anyway, so it can't be S tier. Now, the Supra, I'm sorry, that you know it. By the way, let me know in the comments if you agree with any of these. The Supra has to be S tier. The Supra is like the definitively S tier car of GT7. It is so unbelievably OP. And every time I try and go off meta and try and drive a different car when the Supra's dominating, when I go back in the Supra, I'm like, oh, okay, I know why the Supra's so good here. Just handles so nicely, so torquey as well. Kind of gets the back out a little bit nicely. It's a really nice car to drive. It's so dominant. It has to be S tier. And you know what? Oh, I just don't know whether the Porsche can be S. I'm going to put the Porsche S tier as well, because when anyone comes in my streams and says, what car should I drive in GT7? I often say, drive the Porsche. It's so nice to handle, so nicely balanced. It doesn't really understeer, doesn't really oversteer. It's just sort of in the middle. You can really manipulate on the brakes. Absolutely classic car. If that gets a slight buff, then that is going to become like S plus tier, because it will be nice to handle than the Supra. So we've got two S tiers then. Now the GTR, we've got two GTRs here. We've got the 18 and the 13. So whatever the 18 is, the 13 can't be on the same tier, because the 18 is now better than the 13. So I'm going to put the 18, I'm going to put it A tier. I'm going to put A tier. It's always a solid car. If you go to any track in GT7, you're probably not going to do too badly in the 2018 GTR. So I'm going to put that A tier, and that means I'm going to have to, according to my rules, I'm going to have to relegate the 2013 GTR to B tier. Feels kind of wrong because that car's been very dominant, but now it's been updated. I'm going to put it to B tier. That's a harsh one. Coming onto the RCZ, the car that I own in real life, this has to be S tier. It's my car. I have this car. I would be betraying my car if I didn't put S tier. RCZ, so nice to drive, so underrated, so nice on traction. Not super great down the straights, but I think that makes it quite exciting. You have to be super late on the brakes when you go into the braking zone. It's my car, Peugeot for life. Gotta be S tier. Now, the Mazda RX-Vision. Oh my word. The RX-Vision, the first GT3 that I got because I pre-ordered the 25th anniversary edition. Gotta be A tier for the noise. It's not the fastest car. It probably deserves to be B tier, but because of the engine, the rotary, I'm gonna have to put it A tier, because when one of these on the grid, you absolutely know, especially when someone's revving it on the grid at the beginning. So it's got to go A tier for that. The BRZ. I made a video on this car. It got really popular videos. It's got thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of views, I think, about how this car dominated the first season of the GT World Series in GT7. Just so good on the tyres, so good on the fuel, but it's just been repeatedly nerfed. I'm going to have to put it a B tier car, which kind of like, it hates curbs as well. You have to put it a B tier car, which is kind of, this was an S tier car. It's now gone down to B tier, so that is a controversial one. But I feel I have to. The Beetle, talking about curbs, the Beetle is so good on curbs. The Beetle just looks at the curbs like, nah, you don't exist, mate. You don't exist. I'm just going to go over you like you're flat. The Beetle is so underrated, but it is underrated. I can't put this thing higher than B. When's the last time we saw the Beetle be OP at a track? I love this car. I hope that it gets promoted, but it's going to have to be a B-rated car. Now, the WRX, Man, this car again has been the fastest car on GT7 at times. I don't think it's fallen from grace as much as the BRZ, but there was a time when the four-wheel drive cars were just massively OP. This isn't the four-wheel drive car in Gr.3, but it was the WRX in Gr.4 was OP, and this was pretty OP in Gr.3, so it was like Subaru dominant. It's not quite as dominant, so I put it in A or B. I'm going to put it in B. Haven't seen one for days. Not that worried about them, so it's going to be a B tier for the WRX. Going over to the Lamborghini Huracan, man, this car I think is they're good, right? The MRs are good right now. The MRs are good, but still, I've never been alongside a Huracan and be like, okay, I'm worried. I'm always like, you're in a Huracan, brave choice. So I'm gonna have to put it B tier. I'm gonna have to put it B tier. I feel with regret, I'm gonna put the Huracan B tier. Now onto the Pennzoil. Man, I feel filthy doing this. It's gonna be C tier. It's gonna be C tier. I love this car. I haven't even put a KCR livery. Look at all the amazing KCR liveries we have, by the way, that you can search and drive for. Just search KCR. I have never put one on the Pennzoil, and I never will because of the iconic livery. But it's C tier, man. It's C tier. When it came out, I was so excited for it, but just, nah, not good. Now, the Audi R8, this should be doing a lot better. I used to drive for Audi in Gran Turismo Sport. I think one of my first streams I hit about 500 concurrent viewers. I was driving in the Audi R8 at Dragon Trail Gardens. So quite a sentimental car, but it is absolute dog in GT7. I don't think I've even seen one. It's got to be D tier. It's got to be D tier. Audi, what are you doing? Why am I not seeing these cars? The Audi R8 should be a car that rewards the very best drivers. It should be a car that if you just look at it, it spins. But the very best drivers can drive it. Now, it was decent in the very first week of Gran Turismo 7. If you remember with the tuning, ironically, the Mazda was good as well. But since then, it's disappeared off the face of the earth. D tier, D tier. Right, the new Mercedes, love this car. Love it. Don't know whether it's A or B tier. I'm going to put it B tier because I feel like it needs to prove itself. But it's a very nice car to drive, has a great sound, very stable. Great view over the bonnet because the bonnet's so big. The bonnet's like a continent size. But I'm going to have to put it B tier. Hopefully we'll do a promotion. Volkswagen GTI, I literally know nothing about it. Haven't even got a livery for it. D tier. Like convertible GTI Golf Scirocco thing. What the hell are you? Get out of the game, frankly. D tier for that. Out. Corvette C7. My favourite car in Gran Turismo 7. So well in this. We beat esports drivers in this thing. We raced Super GT in a league in this thing, and I think we beat Super GT over the league. Had so much fun in the Corvette C7, just like the short shift. My first car, like a short shift, just played to my strength, so smooth, but nowhere in GT7. I can't give it higher than the C. It should really be D, but because I'm so sentimental, I'm going to give it a C. Now, the Ferrari 458, I am seeing them a few times. I am seeing them. This is going to be on the border between A and B. I don't think I'm going to put it B because I have seen a few of them recently. So I'm going to bump it up to A, but it's a very, very, very low A on the tiers. A very, very, very low A. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, go check out the other videos I do. Just go on a binge session, and I'll put all the best videos at the end of this. Like the Super Skyline one, the Pennzoil one. Just go watch them and binge it. You'll love it. DBR9... Again, the lesser fancied Aston. We got the V12 down there. Here's the DBR9. Do you ever see it? It was good in GT Sport in like very specific high-speed circumstances. I don't think I've ever seen it in GT7. I've got 19 miles now. I can't remember when I did those 19 miles, frankly. It's got to be D tier, appropriately for the DBR9. Now the Supra, sort of the twin to the Pennzoil. It's got to be D tier. I think I got this one with the game as well. It's got to be D tier. I don't think I've ever seen one. It's an iconic car and I've done 5 miles in it. I mean, it shows you just like how badly they've treated it. It's a D tier car. Is that a Supra? Yes, it is in the D tier. Aston V12 Vantage. I don't understand how I have 0 miles in this car. One of my favourite cars to drive in GT Sport. Quite similar to the Peugeot RCZ in that game. You just sort of get a lot of bonus rotation, I used to call it. Especially like think like Catalonia, these corners, you just sort of like get a little bit of bonus rotation. But I've never driven it in GT7, or at least this one I've never driven. Maybe I sold them, I can't remember. But don't really see them. It's got to be a C tier. We should see more of them. Like, we deserve more Astons, but we deserve the newer Astons as well. Like going to WEC and seeing the new Astons. This car's 11. In fact, I'm sorry, Aston Martin G7. This is a D tier car. This car is 11 years old. We need the new Aston Martins, please. Can we get them in as well? The GT3 GTEs. It's like, what is going on? Right, McLaren 650S. Again, a really old car. We don't have. Is it the 720S? We don't have here. It's just mad. It's just absolutely mad. So the McLaren, again, I don't really see it. It was decent in GT Sport in the wet. Going to be another D tier car because it's so old. The F-Type, I don't see. Again, I haven't driven it. I just don't know. I don't know where to put this one. I've got to class it somewhere. I'm going to class that as C tier. I'm going to class C tier. Now the M6, I do see the M6. I'm hearing some rumours that the M6 is decent. So I'm going to put the M6 B tier because I've been hearing the rumours. People keep saying, go in the M6, go in the M6. So I'm going to put that B tier. Supra we've already done. The Genesis I've just bought because I know the Genesis is a hot car right now. I've raced some Genesis and they've been decent. It seems to match the GTR. I'm going to put it A tier. That's quite a high praise. I'm going to put the Genesis A tier. There's not that many cars. New sort of underrated cars like that in the A tier, so I'm going to put that A tier. Maybe one day this could be like an S tier car in disguise. We will see. Finally, going to go on with the Suzuki VGT. I thought I'd driven this car in Nations, but that must have been the road going car. Hated it. Terrible brakes. Bonnet goes on for like 5 light years. Again, it's a convertible. Like, what the hell are you doing? D rank. There we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Go check out the other videos here. Let me know in the comments if you disagreed or agreed with anything. You can share your S tier, your tiering in our Discord as well. I'll see you in the next video.